Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another edition of Mental Mondays. We're here to talk about mental health and all the things that can possibly help or just help you get things off your chest. We have a special guest with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Kia. I'm a mom, single mom. Whatever. I have my own podcast called Convos with Kia. That's on pause right now. But Shampoo is my cousin. They invited me on here today to talk about mental health, and
she is definitely the first woman to do our Mental Monday for us. So thank you, appreciate you, and we appreciate you for coming out.
Appreciate y'all too for having me.
Alrighty. So we're just gonna go ahead and dive in on yourself right quick. Can you go ahead and start us off, like, where did you grow up in, like, an early childhood?
Okay. I grew up initially it was my mom, my dad. Then my dad and my mom separated. You know, I want to say closer to the age of 3, 4. Then he became kind of a in-person, but not in-person parent, absent. But he was in the streets. Drugs, alcohol, whatever. So it was just me and my mom for a while. Then my mom remarried and to my dad, John, and they had children, got married. Boom, there's me. I always felt like the outsider at that time because it was all of them and just me. Like, I was the only one without the same mom and dad. So, let's see. I want to say, for me, from what I remember, I think really my childhood trauma probably kicked in when my father, my biological father originally, he separated from my mom. So of course then I didn't know because I was 3, but I can say I remember certain events that took place, like he was there but he wasn't there. I had a relationship with him because I talked to him, but he would tell me he was coming to get me and didn't show up and shit like that. So for that, I can say that kind of traumatized me in a way. It had more an effect on me, like, as I got older versus then, of course. But I know my first, like, real interaction of me remember, like, him leaving was one day he came to see me. And, matter of fact, I'll never forget, we was living in Forestville, over there by Walker's Lane, whatever. And he came to see me and my mom, he said he was in the hallway, so my mom let me go out there and talk to him. And I told him I was going to be right back. I was going to go get my pillow so we could, lay against the wall.
How old was you?
I was like 4 or 5.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. So, I went and get my pillow, my little dog baby, whatever, we talking. And then somehow or another, I guess I fell asleep. And he was right there with me, but when I woke up, he was gone. And I'm like, I'm like, Dad, yeah. Like, I'm a little kid, so I'm like going out the building, looking for him. And then I go in the house, I'm crying to my mother, like, Mommy, my daddy, he left. And she's like, what you mean, love? I'm like, he's not there, he left. And she's like, you sure? So she went out there and she was like, just get your stuff. Come in the house. So I was all hysterically crying and upset because I'm like, damn, I'm probably. And I hadn't talked to him for a while after that either. So it was like I was scared. Like I thought something happened to him because he was there before I fell asleep, and then he just fucking left. So
and like you remember that from 4 years old.
Yeah. That was like it's crazy because I have a lot of vivid memories from my childhood. So like that's why I think that stuck out to me so much, because looking back, when you older, you can kind of look back and be like, I think I know where it stemmed from, and for me, I feel like that's where it started, but it really started then. It didn't really pick up until I turned 10.
Okay, so you said you said John, was it?
My dad.
Your dad, right? So he stepped in since you were 4 and up to the whole life, the whole.
Well, no, 9. I was 9 when my mom. Well, he had been around. Him and my mom got my mom's best friend is his cousin, so like he's always kind of been around her, but I didn't know, of course, because I was a kid. But they were good friends or whatever, because she would always see him at her family events, whatever. So like I'm sure they had a relationship before I really knew, but I didn't know, But I knew they got married when I was 9.
Okay, so So John stepped in, your dad. So he stepped in and did with your dad. So how long did it take for your dad to come back, or?
Well, my dad had been like in and out. Like he was there. Like I always talked to him, but he would sometimes he would be there, sometimes he wouldn't. It was like in and out. Like yeah, I'm here. Like I knew he was my father. We had a conversation relationship, I guess I could say, because we talked on the phone. He would come and get me sometimes, but it wasn't like a lot. Most of the time it would be like, yeah, I'm coming to get you, never show up. So
you kind of stayed in contact.
Yeah, I stayed in contact with him, and then I actually believed him. Like even though he would lie and be like, yeah, I'm coming to get you, never show up, I still was like, okay, he's gonna come next time. But then once the pairing kind of continued, I was like, yeah, this nigga's lying to me and he's not gonna come. But okay, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm still gonna also know that I don't trust you.
You're not getting your hopes up.
So, the trust thing started at a young age too with my dad. So, and a lot of times that travels with you into your adulthood. That's why, people be like, why do you have trust issues? I mean, really, it started with your childhood. So, I know for me anyway, I'm willing to admit that because I know, like, that's why but I do give people the benefit of doubt beforehand. But if you lie, that's it. Yeah. I don't really like. It ain't too many chances I'm gonna give because trust is like that's like gold to me because I'm going to tell you the truth. Like I don't know how to lie, so me lying and them, yeah, it ain't.
So do you feel like the trust? Issues were kind of like it started and you found out your favorite person broke your trust? Yeah. So,
because a girl's they say a girl's first love is her father, right? So yeah, he broke my heart at an early age. So like I think, well, I'm not gonna say that's why, because it wasn't easy when I actually got my first like relationship heartbreak, but like it was similar. It felt the same. Like once looking back, like you don't never really realize things until time passes by. And you're like, damn, I remember when that. Like so, for me, I can say that
So do you feel like that gives you like some type of or kind of makes you anxious or like around others or like hesitant to be around others?
Very hesitant. Like got a brick, like my like I got a guard on my heart or whatever. Like even with people when it comes to them interacting with my son. So like, yeah, it has definitely affected me in my adult life, like teenage adult life. But.
All right, so as you progress through your life, did it get easier? Like just dealing with your dad and let it just be?
Yeah, because I talk to him now, but he's very he's a narcissist, and I will say I don't know what his childhood was like or what his relationship was like with his parents, but I just know, I'm not the problem. For a while, he made me think that I was, but he don't know how to talk to people, and that's what we still like bump heads at. Like I recently just got back in contact with him after not talking to him for like a year, because he gets like we be fine, like we'll talk periodically throughout the week, but then he just after like a couple of months it seems like he just gets like angry or whatever, and then he feel like he wanna like call me out of my name and shit, and that ain't like he's done called me to bitch whatever more than a few times. So like at this age I'm like, yeah nigga, it's not I ain't no 16, I'm not 15, I'm not 12, I'm 31. Like you're not about to keep talking to me like that. Like I'm an adult just like you are, so if you want respect, granted I ain't gonna sit here and like act like bitches like because me and my friends, we do call each other that or whatever and whatever, but it's just like coming from your parent is like different. So and I think over time I became kind of like numb to it. So like he would say it to me, but it wouldn't affect me as much as it did the first time, because I'm like, oh nigga, you called me this on my 16th birthday, you called me a bitch when I told you I was having a baby. Now I'm 31 and you think you still gonna be doing it? It's not okay. So I had to like tell him about himself, like I was like, look, I don't know what kind of demons you facing, but I'm not your punching bag. You're not about to keep talking to me like I'm a child. I'm your child, but I'm not a child. Like, you want respect, you gotta respect me too. And I wasn't rude to him. He just got mad at me because he wanted to see me and my son. I told him that was fine. I had some errands to run, so I would call him when I got back from doing what I was doing. And he was like, all right, make sure you call me because I want to see y'all, blah blah. Okay, that's cool. So we hadn't seen him in a while, so I'm like, that's fine. I don't have no problem with that. So things end up taking a lot longer than I anticipated. I was trying to file my taxes. That take time. Sometimes things take turn, whatever. So I thought I was calling my son to tell him to get ready, but I called my dad, and I was like, my bad. I didn't mean to call you. I was trying to call Kai. He's like, damn, what's taking so long? I was like, well, I'm getting my taxes done, so it's taking a little bit of time, but I should be finished soon. He's like, all right. So I know he texted me back and said, never mind, don't even come. And I was like, well, what's wrong? And he was like, you think I'm stupid? I'm not going to keep trying to buy your love. And I'm just like, he was like, I was going to give you some money, but you're not going to keep making me feel like I got to chase after you and da 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 da. So I'm just like, I was like, what are you talking about? So I called him. He's like, man, fuck you, bitch. And I don't got time for this. And he just hung up the phone. So I'm like, damn. I was already having a bad day, so I'm just like, all right, now that did stink a little bit, like, cause I was, like I said, I was already having a bad day, so it was like, damn, what's with this bitch word? Like, what you just, like, is that something, do you enjoy doing it? Cause you don't have no problem calling me that, so try to figure out. So I called him back in, then he didn't answer the phone. The phone went to voicemail, so I sent him a text message. I was like, look, I don't know what you got going on, but I'm gonna give you some space, and that's just that. After that, I did block his number for a while because I'm just like, this happened way too many times for me. And I talked to his wife, and she's like, well, that's still your dad. I'm like, hold up, I don't give a fuck if that's my mother. I don't care. Toxic is toxic, whatever you want to call it. I don't have to deal with that. Then my son is hearing it, so this is affecting him too. Whether people don't realize that either. Your children are affected by the things that you go through as well. Like whether it's a mental thing, emotional thing, physical, whatever. They go through it too. They feel what you feel. They may not know how to really explain that, but it does. It starts at home. It starts from an early age. Like once kids start learning how to talk, that's it. When they feel just like we feel. So even if they can't really put it into words, that's when shit really, is real. So, I just think that I needed to not talk to him because I was just like, I don't need that. Like, I didn't even feel bad. Like, times before I felt bad, I was like, maybe I shouldn't stop talking to him because that is my father. But then I was like, fuck that. So when I'm talking to his wife, she's like, a lot of times your dad he doesn't know how to control his anger. And I'm like, so is that an excuse for you or me? Because if you can't control your anger, like, at all, like, I know it's not just with me. He got to be doing the same thing to you. So you trying to tell me just because he's my father, I'm supposed to be like, yeah, it's okay.
And also you've seen it over a longer time frame.
Yeah, see, she was around for, so she just thinking she's like, you don't want nothing to happen to him. Okay, what if something happened to me? That's what you missing too. Like, I could, just like you could die, I could die too, or anything could happen. So you're telling me that you need to be telling yourself, he need to tell himself that, like, look at the reflection in the mirror. It's not me. I don't have no problem respecting adults. He just can't accept that I'm an adult. I think that's his problem. He's still looking at me like I'm a little girl, but even still, why would you want to talk to your child like that? So,
I mean, how frequently have you been bothered by not being able to stop worrying about these things? So, like, because I know it seems like even when you try to get yourself to try to even heal the process, or like I said, even when you look back at it, try to mend things that you probably couldn't control as a kid, you still feel it's emotionally wise, like getting attached to it, like maybe I should go fix the problem, and then as an adult you look at it like, alright, even when I'm trying to fix it, he's not probably trying to fix the problem.
Yeah, so I just accepted for what it is. Like, I forgave myself for dealing with it, whatever, and it just is what it is. Like, I realize, like, a lot of times you're not going to get an apology, you're not going to get a sincere apology, or sometimes you're not going to get nothing from somebody that you feel like you deserve from them, but you because when you do that, it's like you giving them power to like dictate how you feel. So even though it might bother me, I just had to accept, like, this is who you are. You still my father. Like, I love you, I care about you, but I gotta do that shit from a distance. Cause if that mean I gotta stop talking to you, like even on the phone, text message, whatever, then I gotta do what I gotta do until I'm comfortable. Cause honestly, I wasn't gonna reach out to him again, but my mother was like, you should call him, you know. I just felt like he should have reached out to me at this point, because it's like, I really didn't do nothing. Like, sir, I mean, I didn't do nothing in the past either, but you know, it's like, I really didn't do nothing. Like, and you want to know what his reason was? He told his wife that he thought that I was still dealing with my baby father, so that's why I wasn't trying to let him come to my house. Sir, first of all, even let's say that was the case, which it ain't. Why would you be so mad? This is my life. Like, why? That's not a valid reason.
I mean,
for you cursing me out, because that doesn't make.
Did he already have like tension before?
I mean, he never met my father. He came close to me when I had my son, when I was in labor or whatever, but it was like their paths didn't cross. Like, he didn't like him, of course, because he knew some of the things that me and him was going through while I was pregnant or whatever, but it wasn't his place. Like, I'm like, why would you want to do that while I'm late? Like, I'm in labor and you want to try to like go fight him? Come on now. He worked in the hospital that I was having my son at, but his father was present, so it was like, I was just like, God, please, because I can't do nothing about that anyway, you know what I'm saying? But their paths never crossed. They knew of each other, they never met, they never talked to each other, none of that. But he knows my stepdad, of course, my dad, which I'm just going to say that's my dad, because, yeah.
All right. That's a toll. Because it's kind of like, from what I get, it's like kind of like a lot of enabling for your dad sometimes when you're trying to. When you're trying to get your feelings for him, and it's just not working out, or he's just not seeing. Do you feel like that also affected you as like with your relationship, say like your kid's father? Did it affect how you deal with him, or you try to accept things, or probably like, all right, I give him a chance for this or this and that? How you probably
I feel like I'm very lenient, and I was very lenient and very understanding with him and me, and I think it was to the point where like I was even though I knew for real like we were not gonna ever like settle down and be with each other, I was still trying to make it happen for my son, because I didn't have that. I always wanted a family, you know. I had it. I mean, I got it. It was just different. It didn't look like how it looked for other people, or the standard family, you know, mother, father,
one household,
children, married, you know what I'm saying? But even those houses, that shit ain't what it's cracked up to be either. So but I didn't understand that until I became an adult, because I'm like, I got it, but I got it when I was older, and then it was like, but I still want that for my son. Like, even though it looked different for everybody's family, everybody's household, everybody's idea of a single parent or a family, one household type of family, it's all different for everybody. So for me, I wanted us to, you know, live under one household, one roof. We together, we, you know, whatever. We a family. But he had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So it was like, that made it hard for me, because he would tell his family one thing and have me thinking another thing, then telling the other bitches some old other shit. So it was just like, it was a lot of that. But I knew, like, for real, this nigga don't want to be with me. But I kept trying to glue it. Every time I kept trying to keep gluing it back together, knowing this shit wasn't gonna work. But I'm, you know, then I got to a point where it was just like, okay, it is what it is. I can't change. I tried for 6 years, didn't work. Time to go. Which I think I've kind of like prolonged it, but I mean, and I played a part in it too. So I'm not gonna say and make it seem like he's the bad guy, but we both have played a part. I mean, I don't play a part now, but.
So was it your choice to cut the cord? Like, this is.
Yeah, I had to, because if I didn't, I would be miserable. He living his life. He was living his life before I decided to like cut ties, like let everything go. But I feel like once I did it really for me, if it was easier, because all the other times before I was like forcing myself to like let go, and I really didn't want to. So I was like, you know, everybody everybody's healing process looks different too. So, you know, you got your friends and your family like, yo, you need to leave him alone, blah, blah. But I'm just in my head, I'm like, when I get tired, I'm gonna get tired. And I did.
So you left by your accord.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, so let's talk about how often you have felt satisfied with yourself over the past month. So all that was past trauma. Let's deal on your focus on with yourself and like what you've been able to, I guess, as your adult now, and take all the information you perceived when you were younger and calculate it to make your own decisions by now. Like, so how satisfied have you been with yourself? Like, are you proud with yourself recently with your goals or where your directions you're going?
Yeah, no. Like it's like 50-50. Like, I mean, I can't say that I did like restart therapy, so I'm happy about that. I've only been going for like the last 3 weeks, so this like our 4th session this week.
And not to cut you off, but like as a black person myself, like in a black in the black community, it's kind of hard for therapy. Has that actually been a helpful thing for you?
Well, now like this therapist, yeah, because I've had quite a few therapists.
So you found somebody who can understand.
Yeah, like
But you tried it before.
Yeah, I've done it several times, and it was
bad experience.
It worked for a little. Bad. I had some bad experiences, so it kind of made me hesitant to keep doing it. So it was like a lot of times I was starting and not finish, like start and not continue, go like consistently.
And I feel like you're saying because it's like it was comfortable when people don't understand.
Yeah, and then it's like you got some people that just was trying to like. As I started doing it as a kid, like 10, 11, whatever. They want to play Uno and shit. I'm like, this ain't. I don't know. Like, okay, we could play Uno for 5-10 minutes, but after that, what else? Lady falling asleep. I'm sitting here telling her what's going on. She like, what did you say? And I'm like, damn, I just told you this story like 5 times. I don't want to keep saying this. Then you got people that just want to do medication.
Drug you.
Yeah, I wasn't okay with that because the problem was still there. So
when the high was over.
Yeah, so so I for a long time I kind of strayed away from it, but I knew like. I always had to like it was always a space in me like maybe I should, but Then when I felt like I had connected with some, it was like they would be like, oh, I can't continue my services because we don't take your insurance anymore. So I was like, so then that really made me be like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Like the last one I had, I was with her for like a while, and then she got a new job, but she told me in enough time for me, she was like, if you want to still, find another therapist, I have a few that I can refer you to, or you can look on your own, whatever. So she gave me time to catch up, but then the person that I ended up, talking to, she was cool, but she just, it wasn't a fit, like.
Wasn't a vibe.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah. And then she ended up telling me, she just stopped calling, so I'm like, damn. Stop making appointments, so I'm just like, all right. So from January up until the beginning of May, I didn't have like I didn't have any therapy, so I was looking for a therapist. But then my friend referred me to a place that she goes, and then I was able to find one, and she's been pretty cool.
That's dope. That's really dope. Because I feel like a lot of people bottle things in.
Yeah, and I definitely used to do. I mean, I still do it, but not like I used to. Like it's like a more when I was younger. But I'm learning now to release things, even though it's still kind of hard for me to really express myself. But I'm getting there.
All right. So to bounce off my last question, so tell me about how confident you have been feeling your capabilities recently. I see you had the but I could feel the confidence too. Like it built it through all the other things.
Yeah.
It built it. It's not the same person.
It's not where I want it to be, but it has like
you still got progress.
Yeah. Cause I want to say like what with society and the way technology is. Social media has you thinking you're supposed to be living a certain way, you're supposed to look a certain way, be doing certain things, and sometimes I get caught up in that, and I be like, damn, I'm not doing this. I don't have this, but I have this, but I do got that, But it's like, so sometimes I have to like stray away from social media because sometimes I do be getting caught up in like what I see, like man, I still don't have this. I'm 31. I know people that's 22. They done bought a house. They got this, but then I also remember, like, you know, you don't know what they did or what they got to do to get it. They might not have no family, they might not have no kids, they might not have to really be living the life they want to live. And then you got things you looking at your reflection in the mirror. You see all these people that got BBLs and whatever, and it's like, damn, I'm looking weak. I mean, compared to them, but then it's like, I don't want to look like everybody else either. So it's like, you know, it's just one of those things you just got. No.
I think that's factual. So like, growing up back then to now, a lot of technology and a lot of things have exposed people to a lot of things. Overexposure is really a thing.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for our youth. As a parent, as myself, as parents, me and Shampoo too. Do you feel like the overexposure could be too much for your kids, or how could you control that exposure? I know it's hard to control exposure because you're gonna look, you're gonna find. Same way we did. It ain't hard to go find something you want to look for.
Right.
But how would you feel like you can't control that exposure? Though that's easy, literally a touch of a button.
Well, see, I think it's like it has pros and cons too, because I mean it could be a good thing or a bad thing, because like for the good, I would say like it allows them to like know like what's going on, like, because they want to see. Would you rather them go looking for it or just kind of it be there? Like, I don't know. It's hard. It is kind of hard to say, because it's like, of course, I don't want my son to be exposed to what's going on, but he knows because he see it. It's there. Like, it's even when I'm not. I can't always be around him to be like, oh no, I don't want you to do this or that. But sometimes peer pressure comes, and it starts early too. So, and now with technology, it's like we didn't have that. We had technology, but we didn't like. We didn't have no iPhone and shit. We had flip phones. We had to put minutes and ringtones on our phone and shit. We had to get money from our parents to do. Now they can get money on Cash App. They don't even have to. They can sell shit at school. You know, stuff like it's different. And I understand. So I'd be like thinking like, I don't want to shelter my son either. Like, I don't want to shelter him too much, and then when he do get out, it's like he wild out, whatever. But now it's like I don't even have to do that. It's there. Like you said, at a touch of a button. Like YouTube, TikTok, that shit. That's really where it's at. That's where they want to see everything they need to see. Like, I really feel like TikTok is not for kids. It started out for kids, but it's like adults have more fun with it, and kids are. I mean, we're in a different generation, so it's like I feel like it's for their generation, but
I feel like the lines got blurred.
Yeah.
A long time ago between adult social media and kids social media.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so like, can you tell me about your hopes and dreams for the future?
Let me see. Well, I hope that I'm one day able to like share my testimony, like, you know, fully with the world or people, you know, preferably like young, not even just young women, young men too, because you never know what you may say or what part of your story someone may be able to relate to. You know, I just want to help. I just want to help somebody, even if it's one person. Dreams, I don't know. I love babies, so like that's really my lane, like my ultimate lane that I want to.
So you go like a child care education thing, or?
If not that, maybe like daycare or like. Well, I've been working on like a business venture for myself. Well, originally it started. I wanted to own a laundromat, but then I was like, I don't really think I want to deal with people. Like people, like I like people. I like helping people, but if I did that, I wouldn't necessarily start out doing that. I wanted to like switch it up a little bit. So I was like, I can offer laundry services to new moms, like, cause who has time to do laundry when you are a parent or a new mom? Like, it's hard. Like, nobody want to be like, yeah, when it's time to do laundry, you be holding that shit. I'm like, yeah, I do it tomorrow. Well, I do it late. I do it 30 minutes. So, because I like babies, I'm like, that'd be a way. Even if I can't really like interact with the babies, at least I'm doing something to like involve them. So I came up with the name The Laundry Lab for Moms. So like, it's just really helping the new moms or moms that have younger children that don't have time to really do laundry. Of course, I haven't done anything else with it. I just came up with the name, so so
So those are your goals and all your dreams. So what feelings have you had recently about working towards those goals? Like working towards them. Like I know some people do the vision board. You got a vision board?
No, I be, so this is my problem. Like I be, so like if even like I can even say with my podcast, like I do want to do things with that too, but sometimes I be going through these moments where I be like, I have all this energy and I'm like, I got all these ideas, and then I be like, yeah, it's taking too long, so yeah, I'm scratch that. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna do something else. So that my problem is it's a lot of things that I want to do, but I just don't be sticking with. Like I be having it be like creative blocks, like. So that's the problem for me.
So you be having that mental block, and
you
be having a muse this week, and I ain't feeling that next.
And then don't let me be going through something. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do none of this shit. I don't know what I want to do, but I don't know. I do have moments like that all the time. But I really know, like, I mean, people, I do have support, and people be like, yeah, you need to do this. Like, even with my locks, like, I'm starting locks, whatever. A lot of people doubted that. They was like, you ain't gonna do it. You too indecisive. But now,
that was exactly my next question. Do you got, like, do you feel like you need a support system? Do you have a support system?
I do, but I don't. Like, okay. And I think it's because it's not the right type of like, I need to surround myself with some different people. Like I have enough people to support me, but it be like halfway. Like, yeah, you should, but they don't want you. Like, you got some people that be like, yeah, I want you to do, but I don't want you to be better than me, or I don't want you to do something that I really want to do, because then that's gonna take away my shine. But I'm just want to help. That's my thing. But people don't be on what I be on.
If it's a 2% or 5%, or you want like, hey, 45% help, or at least back me when or at least help me when I'm down.
Yeah, see, I know, like, if I had somebody like to help me, like, kind of assist me with my thoughts, like I tell you my thoughts and then you just write the shit down. I'm like, yeah, that would help me out a lot, like, cause I can't put my brain be working faster than my hands when I be writing stuff. I'm like, yeah, can you just write that for me? Or can you just help me? Like, I just need I don't know. I just need a person to, like, assist, I guess.
So, for these ideas you have, like, how much enjoyment do you get from these? Like, I know you say you start one every week. Like, you say you got the locks, and then you got the laundry and ladies, right? Laundries and...
Oh, for moms. The laundry lab.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The laundry lab for moms.
So, like, how much enjoyment did it get? Like, I feel like everybody, when they're down, you always need something new to spark you again. You always need a reset. So, all these ideas are like, how can I say, they're great and they're wonderful ideas. And then I feel like you probably have something that hit you, and it probably just creates creativity. And then you're like, that stopped that goal, but I'm gonna do something else, and that's
that don't be working.
But that's a reboot you from, because you already got stopped by something else.
Yeah.
But you're just trying to kill all that with one stone. Okay. Yeah, I understand that as well. So like, you have these aspirations, these dreams. Your childhood seemed to play in like a part. Also, my one question I would like to have, just personally myself, it seems you had a great dad, as far as like, I don't want to say stepdad, because I know exactly how you feel, but like, it's a dad, like, it's my dad. Like, do you feel like even though he was there, it wasn't enough? Like,
no, actually,
because you also say, in the beginning, you also say you feel like the other kids, they're siblings, but it's just, I'm an outcast to myself.
So, right, he never made me feel that way. It was just me, and I didn't feel like that for long. It was just because I knew, like, when he introduced me, I was like, that's my daughter, this is my daughter. But I'm like, nigga, I don't look nothing like them. They all look like y'all, and I just look like my mother, like, but. But he always included me, like, and he wanted me to have his last name. My mother never told me till I was like older. Like, I'm like, why you wait? She's like, cause I didn't want you to feel like, he was trying to replace your father. I'm like, yeah, but I know my father. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with him. Like, you should let me make that choice, cause I would have been cool with that. That made me feel like, damn, he really, like, I knew he loved me, but he really, like, he wanted me, like, really be his daughter. Like, that was important to me. Like, and now he's like kind of like he's quiet, but I know he can, like, if I need anything, he won't do it. Like, especially when it comes to my car, anything. I don't really ask a lot for a lot of help, but mainly with my car. If anything that needs to be fixed, he gonna fix it, cause he a mechanic. But yeah, like, he's very supportive. Like, he don't say much, like I said, but he's there. So I know, like, I can come to him and say anything. Like, he may not say nothing the whole time talking, but then he'll like, well, you gonna be alright, he don't say too much, but he say enough, like small words, but it means like 1,000 words. So I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
I feel like it's to play your perfect part. I don't step about boundaries, but I'm going to play the position.
But it's like we beyond that, cause.
But still, it's like.
Yeah, he's still like he just that type of person. Now, when he got something to say, he gonna say it. Like, when that little situation with my baby father, he like, yeah. So ask that nigga, he got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. What he about to do? Cause it ain't gonna be that in and out shit. Either he gonna be there with y'all, or he gonna be at his mother's house. So once he said that, I was like, oh, all right.
You said his name was Joe?
John.
Shout out to John.
Yeah.
Shout out to John. Real talk. I'm gonna go down this my 12 months. We'll have you my 12-month question list, and it's literally based on like the World Health Organization, the WHO, right?
Mm-hmm.
So over the last 12 months, how frequently have you felt worried about something that you were unable to sleep at night?
All the time. That's my problem. Okay. I overthink, overanalyze, anxiety, just be on 1,000. I really don't sleep at night. And now now it's more so in my subconscious, I guess, because I be wanting to go to sleep, and I be like, okay, I'm gonna put all this shit to the rest. But then my brain's like, no, you won't think about it. This is
ready before you go to bed.
Yeah.
All right. Over the last 12 months, how frequently have you felt alone or lonely?
I don't feel alone. I want to say I probably felt lonely, but no, I don't know. Cause I like being by myself sometimes. So can't really say for that.
All right. And my third question is, how many close friends would you say you have? Could you say the kind of situation you have, but how many close friends would you say you have? They ain't always got to kind of support your dreams and business, but they could be still close friends, you know?
Well, I'm gonna say I got 10 good friends.
10 good friends?
Yeah, 10.
All right. Alright, you got anything else? Cause that was my question there.
No, I don't think so.
Good. Alright.
Shout out to my friends if y'all watching.
The 10 good ones.
Yeah, the 10. Y'all know who y'all are.
Alright, so any advice or anything you want to have or give to people who could be dealing with the same thing or trying to make it through the same thing you kind of deal with?
I would say write. If you got a journal, if you don't have one, get yourself a journal and write, because it's only you and your thoughts and the pen and paper, nobody else. Write it and burn it. Then or go sit outside. Like now that's something I don't like, bugs and things, but I do like being outside. Like, it's a different type of air versus being in the house. Like, the sunlight is there, the birds are chirping. I mean, it just give a different vibe. Like, for me, I've noticed, like, as I got older, sitting outside and gathering my thoughts is easier and it's more peaceful for me. And you're not inside your norm. Like, home is your comfort zone. Being outside is not my comfort zone. So, I mean, I don't think it's anyone's comfort zone, but I'm just saying, like, I will hope not, but no. But yeah, meditating, that's something that I just started doing recently, and it actually does help. Like, you know, you gotta take baby steps because some people be trying to like do the whole 20 minutes, whatever. You can do it 5 minutes, take some deep breaths. You know, it will definitely change your whole day. Yoga, working out. I don't really do that, but I'm planning to do that. Yeah.
So a lot of writing and a lot of deep breathing.
And talk. If you need to vent, even, you know, it don't even have to be your friends. It could be a stranger. Sometimes a stranger will hear you out before people that you know. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I had a problem with. Like, I don't have a problem with venting, but it's just like trusting people. Like, can I trust you with? But you know what? For real, a stranger, for real, you can talk to a stranger and you can trust them more than you can trust somebody that you know your whole life.
Well, thank you for coming out, and hopefully you help many strangers with this testimony. Cause you help open my eyes to a lot of things. I feel like I gotta do my Mental Monday over, but that's for another time. But thank you for coming out, and go ahead and shout out what you want them to follow, or just shout out your name again. Smooches.
Okay, well, my name is Kia. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram page is just me and my boy, all lowercase letters. And there you will find my previous episodes that I have posted on Convos with Kia.
Oh yeah, make sure you follow the podcast. She coming
that is still under just me and my boy, but I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna get a page and all that. Just stay tuned. Shout out to my cousin Shampoo and this best buddy over here. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for having me. Hope to see y'all again soon.
Thank you for Mental Mondays and Pleasant Thoughts. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Cool.